Have this like ideal sex life in your head, and then you'll find ways naturally to perpetuate that in real life. Just like you found ways to perpetuate the negative ideas in real life, start to fantasize ideally how you would like things to go. What's up, fam? Welcome to Garner Growth. This is the first video in our Lovers series, our Mindful Lovers series. And we're going to talk about improving your sexual confidence. So if you feel insecure in the bedroom, if you feel like you don't know what you're doing, or you're actually not having good experiences and afraid to even give it a try, if there is a dry spell in your relationship, then we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about ways to improve that. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the importance of confidence in intimacy and sex. So confidence is not about how you look at all, right? Because we know that people are attractive based on how they feel about themselves. A person that feels confident doesn't have to be aesthetically pleasing, but we're attracted to, they feel really sure about themselves. There's something about that person that makes them feel good about being them. I'm interested in finding out what that is. It creates allure, pulling in, attraction. When somebody is insecure, let's say, body language is drooped, saggy, head is low, they might talk, just not confidently. You're a lot likely to ignore that person, to kind of pass them by, because their whole aura, their energy field is not attractive. They don't create polarity in their environment. In order to create I can't talk. In order to create polarity, you have to have a strong charge. You have to be confident in who you are, be grounded in who you are. That is what pulls people in. So it's not about how you look. We all got here through sex, so obviously everybody having sex. Whether you're pretty, you're ugly, you're homely, you're average, it does not matter. It is how you feel about yourself. Specifically, 3 things that they found scientifically to be backed, to be the foundation of sexual confidence. That is your mindset, that is your self-awareness, and then your communication. And we're going to talk about how to work with those 3 things in this video. So first, let's touch on the importance of sexual confidence. We already kind of touched on one with confidence is attractive. It draws people in. It makes the other person want you. It makes them curious to find out what makes you so desirable to yourself and to other people. That's the first thing. So we want to develop our confidence, which we can. It's a skill that we can develop. We want to develop it because not only do we start to feel better in ourselves and be more authentic in ourselves, we're not looking for outside validation like, oh, please give me compliments to prove to me that, I'm attractive, that I'm pretty, or prove to me that I'm successful by, stroking my ego. When we look for outside validation, it's very draining. And that drain is what's repelling to other people. It's when somebody's coming to you with this void and they kind of feel like a vacuum. It's different than having an attraction where you're drawn to them. You come to them voluntarily, like, oh, let me go find out what this is, versus them trying to pull you in to fill some void. That is very repelling. It's scary. And if you're not self-aware, you might be getting drawn into those types of relationships without even knowing it. And then you feel drained and you're like, what's going on? And it also is a reflection on you, where you're at. And you're not, there's no shame around it, but it's just information that you can have. Like, okay, I've been attracting draining people, vampires, energy vampires. So what does that say about me and my energy? What am I attracting? Or what am I not aware of that's putting me in these situations repetitively? So the first thing was confidence is attractive. The second thing is anxiety kills arousal. If you are stressed out and you're in your head, if you're worried about how my body's going to react, what are they going to think about me? How is this going to go? Are they going to say yes? Are they going to say no? Am I going to be rejected? All those thoughts create a negative charge. It changes your attraction. And it also kills libido. It kills arousal and it numbs sensation. There's nothing sexy about fight or flight. When you are in a stress mode, your body's releasing cortisol. That's a stress hormone. It's telling your body that we need to like do something to survive. This situation's dangerous. And so blood flow goes out of your core, out of your center, and goes to your limbs. So you've now taken your blood flow out of your genitals, which is where you want them to be for arousal, right? And now they're in your limbs, and this part is more numb, including your emotional connection. We're not typically trying to be emotionally connected and have a soft, center when we're in fight or flight mode. So be aware of that. If you start to get stressed, which sometimes arousal, the excitement of arousal, which is a type of stress, like a positive stress, can turn into anxiety, where now you were turned on and now you're like, shit, what am I gonna do with this, this arousal? And so now your body goes into stress mode and you don't feel as much. You're not as receptive to touch. And this happens oftentimes with people who have had sexual trauma as well. If your past experiences have taught you, have conditioned you to freeze up when there's arousal from opposite sex, or freeze up when somebody wants to engage with you sexually, then even without thinking, your body is going to react that way. It's going to become stiff and numb and not receptive. And so again, this comes into your self-awareness. What's going on in my body when I'm either becoming aroused, experiencing arousal like during it, or there's like the possibility of arousal. So now I have this mental stress around what could happen. And if arousal from your partner is a threat to you subconsciously, then that just lets you know, okay, I need to work on reprogramming the idea of arousal and intimacy in my body as something negative to something positive. And we're going to talk about how to do that later on. So bottom line, anxiety kills arousal. It kills libido, makes you not want to do it no more. And then the last thing to be aware of is your self-image. If you have a negative self-image, it's not going to contribute to a positive sexual experience, because it often has to do with bearing yourself, right? So if you find that you need to have the lights out, or you don't want to like be too exposed, then that's a wall that we have in our connection that's not going to allow us to really cross over that threshold and feel a more holistic, a more elevated connection. It limits it. You're putting a limit on your connection with every block that you have to put in. That block could be, I need the lights out. I need to have some clothes on. I feel like my dick's too small. I feel like my vagina's not tight enough. I feel like my boobs are saggy. It could be any of those insecurities that we have, where we want to hide that part of ourselves in a moment where we want to be intimate. Intimacy means to get to know, right? And we're talking about sexual intimacy. So you want to get to know yourself and this other person or people deeper, more deeply, more authentically, in all the layers that we all come with. And so every block that you have kind of puts a layer, like a filter, and it blurs our ability to see them clearly. And the more that you can remove those filters, break down those walls, cross over those thresholds of insecurity by bearing yourself, or talking about what you're insecure about. Another way of being vulnerable and bearing yourself is talking about your insecurities. Then the more clear the connection, the more clear the channel of connection between you and these people. So now that we understand the importance of sexual confidence and some of the things that you might be experiencing that are dwindling your sexual confidence, let's talk about 3 ways that we can improve sexual confidence through mindfulness. The first part is to develop a mind-body connection. Mind-body connection is a way to soothe your entire system, because my mind is not somewhere else, my body is not over here. They're in the same place at the same time, engaged in the same activity. And when you do that, you experience this oneness within yourself, this grounding, where you feel present. You can feel sensations. You're not in fight or flight, running for your life, in some thoughts in your head. You're here, you're relaxed, you're receptive, your nerves are ready to perceive all the sensations that are put out, and you feel comfortable in your body and you feel comfortable with this person. And we can do that in many ways throughout the day, throughout the week, without even getting to the point of sex. So part of that is by doing something that connects your mind and your body together. Because if you have a habit of disconnecting during sexual intimacy, you probably are doing it in other parts of your life. And so by just having a general mind-body practice, could be working out, meditating, doing something that requires your focus, like art project, being creative, being engaged, where you're just, all your attention is on this one thing. So if you find that you are like more of an ADHD type person, or you actually have ADHD, then it might be hard for you to even conceive doing something like that, right? But it's by finding ways to do it that are very short duration, but frequent. And you can do short duration. I didn't say it had to be 1 minute, even 30 seconds. Whatever short duration is to you, do that, but maximize it to as short as it can be, as long as that short duration can be. It might be 5 seconds, but then do it frequently. Do it repetitively. Find ways to implement mind-body connection in your daily life so that it becomes natural to you when you're experiencing arousal and intimacy, which oftentimes makes people go into their shell like a turtle. One of the things I like to do is meditate at the grocery store line. Anytime I gotta wait, I could be at the bank, I could be anywhere. Anytime you have to wait is a time to take a few deep breaths. It doesn't have to be a full meditation session. Take one deep breath even, right? So it's really breaking it down to the bare minimum of what you know you can do, and then building upon that. During sex or before, you can do time to just hug, embrace. You can make out, do something that's very slow and not demanding physically. Just caressing. I feel like touch is one of the number one foreplays for most people, that we don't kind of see it as foreplay, but throughout the day, just caressing, grabbing a neck, squeezing, slapping an ass, rubbing on his chest, just finding ways to physically touch. And when you do that, especially when you do like a soft kind of caressing, it's very soothing to the nervous system. And when you do that during, before, after sex, it helps to keep the nervous system in receptive mode, relax and digest, which is your parasympathetic mode, versus fight or flight, because we're not in danger. We're not running for our lives. We're not trying to survive. We are trying to feel good and have this intimate connection, this moment with our persons, okay? And I'm using plural because not everybody is monogamous and not everybody is in traditional relationships. So persons, okay? It goes for everybody. So practicing sensate focus with touch in the most smallest, simplest ways, rubbing hair, any of that. Other thing is breathing. So I talked to you about finding ways to just take a deep breath, a few deep breaths, a minute of deep breaths. However the time increment works for you, whatever you can do right now and work your way up, do that. Nobody ever tells you to go run, a 5K just off the bat if you have not been running. They say, okay, start taking walks. Okay, start jogging. Jog till failure. Okay, jog a half a mile. Jog a mile. And then you start to improve on your distance and your time. Same thing with building mind-body connection. You want to get your mind used to being in the same place as your body by giving your full attention in whatever activity you're doing for however long you can do it, and then doing it repetitively. The second habit we're going to talk about is reframing your negative self-talk. So the first part about negative self-talk is actually being aware of it. So you want to be aware of what happens in your mind when you are either anticipating arousal, when you are aroused, when you're experiencing arousal. What are your thoughts looking like? Are there thoughts that are contributing and building into this experience that you do want, that you do desire? Or are they detrimental and breaking down your confidence in this moment or in this opportunity of intimacy? And so being aware is the first thing. Then the second thing is reprogramming those thoughts to be something that is more positive. There's two parts to this. You want to improve your negative self-talk by having positive affirmations. You can start noticing things about your body that you like. It could be you like your collarbone, You have nice boobs, you have nice butt, you like your thighs, you like your back, you have a nice jawline, you have a nice smile. Whatever it is, there's something about you that you like. And call those things out, appreciate those things. But at the same time, if there's something that you don't like, that you can control, that you can change, like fitness, weight, your hair if you want to change that, hygiene, upkeep, just overall appearance. Those are things that you can do something about. So if you do have complaints about yourself and it's something that you can do something about, then taking the smallest step towards changing that is very empowering. And when we feel empowered to change our situation, we feel confident. It's invigorating. It says that I'm not helpless, right? Whenever you are able to take accountability and take charge of something, it builds your confidence. And then from somebody that is with you or possibly attracted to you, you become a lot more attractive. I know when I go to the gym and I see people working out hard and like just going hard, giving effort, it is attractive to me. Versus people who are at the gym and they're just sitting at the machines on their phone, that is not attractive. Or for instance, I have this pet peeve where, the machine where you just sit on your knees and you twist side to side. That machine pisses me off. I don't know why. I saw some guy doing it last week and I was like, what are you doing? Like, looks ridiculous. Being judgmental, definitely. But when I see somebody working out hard, sweating, like putting in effort, attractive. And it's the same thing with our personal goals. You are going to be more attracted to even yourself because you know that you are doing something about it. You've empowered yourself to change your situation. And that's always a lot more attractive. And what it does is it builds the bricks of our confidence where, I'm not at my end goal because that doesn't matter. It's the fact that I'm working towards a goal. Like that's the real sauce. That working towards is what is attractive. When you see somebody building something and being consistent and accomplishing the small things, that is attractive. Imagine if we were only attracted to somebody when they win. No, when you see an athlete train for the game or train for their sport, you're attracted the whole time. Not just the time they play the game and win. And if they play the game and they lose, you're still attracted to them because you know how hard they worked to train to even get to the point of being able to play. Okay? So that is how we can look at other factors in our lives, like building our physical, sexual confidence, is whatever the problem is, and we can acknowledge and take accountability that there's something we can do about it, then let's start taking the smallest step towards doing something about it. And that right away immediately builds your confidence because you know you're going somewhere and you know that you're not the same person anymore. The same person that was you before you start to do something that was taking you to the next level or taking you in a positive direction of change, totally different person now. Not totally, but it's a different person. You're in a different state of life now. And that's something to be proud about, and you usually feel proud of yourself when you do that. And that's going to radiate out, it's going to reflect out, it's going to show in the energy that you radiate out, your aura, and that's what's going to become attractive. Another thing is to give positive affirmations to yourself, but also to your partner. If you know they have an insecurity, start to be more playful about it, call it out, make it not such a big deal for them if you know that it's something that they are really insecure about. Being playful really takes the pressure off of perfection, which is an idea of how we think things should be, and usually they never are that way. So it doesn't make sense for us to spend so much effort and time being unhappy with the lack of perfection, whereas you can be satisfied and accepting of what is at any given moment of any day, right? You have access to that acceptance right now. Nothing else has to happen in order for you to fully accept yourself or accept your partner as they are. And when you do that, you release this pressure. You release these negative energies of complaints, of dissatisfaction. And it allows you to just be present, whether you're being intimate, whether you're just sitting watching TV, just being present with each other, fully accepting of how you are right now, not wanting to change that person, not wanting to change yourself, or realizing that you don't need to change anything to fully accept and love each other or accept each other right now. So that was improving any insecurities that you have through your negative self-talk. If it's about performance, a lot of times we perpetuate what we're afraid to happen by the thoughts in our head. So you start to get aroused, situation starts to blossom, and you start saying what's going to happen. It's not going to get hard. I'm not going to come from this. I'm going to, fake it until he's done sweating, and, she's going to, whatever the hell y'all saying in your heads. Okay? Just be aware of it and realize that you need to now start to build a positive experience. So start fantasizing before you even get to that situation at night. Visualize, fantasize, have nice fantasies about your partner. Have this ideal sex life in your head, and then you'll find ways naturally to perpetuate that in real life. Just like you found ways to perpetuate the negative ideas in real life, start to fantasize ideally how you would like things to go. Imagine yourself being highly sensitive, highly orgasmic, highly functional, being able to perform when you want, get hard when you want, get wet when you want. Those things are, unless you have a condition, medical condition that you're aware of, then you have the ability to do exactly that. And typically what's blocking us from having those flow-like experiences is there's something going on in your mind, your thoughts are not aligned with what you want to happen, something in your body, circulation-wise, could be health-wise. And again, health-wise, you can do something about that. So there's no point in this unless you do have a medical condition where you are helpless and where you can't do anything about improving your sexual experience. And again, knowing that, it builds your confidence. You can just get a book, start reading a book together, start learning together, start experimenting, try something new and freaky. Those are ways that you can just make it fun and make it playful and not be such a big deal that it's not what you think it should be. Because for some reason, probably according to porn, we think that we should be having these explosive screaming orgasms and, he should be just rock hard all the time, as long as we want. And just everybody's just, in this euphoric state all the time. It's that's not real life. Sometimes it's nice to just feel connected and close and feel the warmth of skin. And that's enough. It's very satisfying, those subtle things. If we think that we can only be satisfied by this, that's another mental construct, another condition that we've placed on our sexual experiences that's very limiting. And it doesn't allow us to be satisfied by the simple, subtle things, like a good hug. Do I look soft and feminine? All right. What are we talking about? So the last thing that you can do to improve your sexual confidence is communication. So we want to think about sexual communication, not just words, because who wants to be interviewed when you're having sex? There is a healthy balance for different people, right? Different couples or, different connections have different needs. But typically, don't nobody want to be having a full-on conversation while you're having sex. It's not the time and the place. But to be comfortable communicating when necessary, I don't like that. Or can we try a different position? Slow down. Teeth. A little faster. Can we change the angle? Being able to just comfortably give those cues and make adjustments is really a form of confidence, because a person that just kind of lays there and takes it, I can't trust you to be honest with me, because you're not having an honest experience with me if you are just laying there and taking it, especially for something as intimate as sex. It's a disservice not only to the whole relationship, but also to yourself and the other person, because you're not allowing them to learn you and to grow and improve your experience with every occasion. Every occasion that you do something, it could be just having a massage. You have the opportunity to know more of what they like, what they don't like, what you don't like, and build upon your experiences every time. And it starts to compound. So as time goes on, as you have more experiences together, it gets better. And it becomes more intimate, whether you're having orgasms or pleasure or not. It becomes more intimate and it feels more connected because you're getting to know each other authentically. And one of the best things too is when it doesn't feel good, and you can say it and you can laugh about it, or you can say it and just stop doing whatever the hell is going on that doesn't feel good. That is such an empowering thing and such an honest thing. It's like having an argument in a relationship or having a really uncomfortable conversation. Once you cross that threshold of being honest and having the conversation, you're now closer. You now feel like we have a more genuine connection. We've been honest, and it strengthens the bond. So same thing with sexual communication. It's only going to strengthen your bond for you to be honest and authentic with how you're communicating what you like, what you don't like. Another thing is you can make it more playful. You can like do like beta tests, you like this or like this more. Do you like this pressure or this softness more? Do you like this slow or you like this fast? And just asking, for minimal communication and not trying to make it an interview. That still keeps it sexy, but makes it so that it's like an extra line of communication. Because you have nonverbal. Nonverbal is what we're going to talk about next. First, you have the verbal, which is like a line of communication. And then we're going to do nonverbal. That requires me to feel my body and feel you connected to my body, whether it's in, out, around, just touching skin, to feel the connection together and to sense your body, what's going on with your body. Are you relaxed? Are you excited? Are you sleepy? Are you disengaged? You can feel my body. Am I tightening up? Am I relaxing? Am I getting wet? Am I drying up? Are you hard? Are you flaccid? There's just so many things going on where there's a lot to perceive during intimacy. And this could be you just laying together and just being aware of like, oh, this person feels warm, heartbeat feels nice. And like, that's it. Those are like those little micro moments where you're just paying attention to being together. You're paying attention to the connection. And over time, that just strengthens the bond. So nonverbal communication also includes facial expressions and noises. And I'm talking about real noises. So I talked about this earlier. I mentioned it earlier. One of the best ways to stop the habit of making fake sounds is to have silent sex. So make the intention before you start to not make any noise. The only noise that's going to come out of you is a genuine expression of arousal or just a genuine expression of sensation. It might feel so good that you just, you let out the noise. But that's different than you making a beat with your breath and moans. Like every motion does not require a sound, but we've kind of gotten to the habit of doing that maybe because that shows the other person that it feels good. And that's really what it is too. It's very performative where you feel like your noises are proving to the person that you're having a good time versus just the sense of connection. If we're both there, we're both present with each other, we feel connected, that's enough. Like the juices are flowing everywhere, they need to be, whether it's blood flow or the juices. That's enough to say like, we're connected. I don't need to hear a whole orchestra. I don't need to hear like a bunch of words, which is different than if you like it. If you want to be talked through it, that's different, right? Because that's a form of audio arousal. It helps to enhance and enrich the experience. If you are in the habit of making a lot of sounds and you want to get out of it, start with the intention of being silent. Okay, so that's like a little tip. It's very helpful. It helped me because I was in my first boyfriend ever when I was 18 we were doing it and I wasn't making any sounds. I hadn't been watching porn. Like it wasn't something that I knew I should do. And so I was laying there and I was feeling stuff, but I wasn't saying nothing. And he's like, do you even like it? And I was like, yeah. Well, can you like make some noises or something? And I was like, the light bulb clicked on and I was like, he wants a verbal performance. He wants a song. So I turned on the whole orchestra and I started hollering and making sure that he knew I liked every single movement. And took some time to get out of that. But from somebody who had been watching a lot of porn, this is a teenager, so grew up watching a lot of porn. And to him, which a lot of you too, you think that a girl should be making all this noise and that's a sign that she's enjoying it. So let's go over the 3 habits that we can implement into our lives that are going to improve our sexual confidence. So the first one is developing a mind-body connection, being able to be present, mind and body in the same time and place. And you can do that by having a practice in the morning. You can do it by working out, just finding some way to do it that's not involving sex, so that just comes second nature to you, or it comes easier to you. Because when we experience arousal and it is something that you go into fight or flight with, then it's going to be hard to implement mindfulness if you only practice it when you're going to be in that situation. So it's best to practice it outside of that situation so that it becomes something easy to access and to do when you need it. And including that, definitely practice mindful breathing. I got a lot of videos on that on my channel. Mindful breathing is going to help you, again, connect your mind and your body. Same place, same time, alignment. When we're in alignment, we have a more flow experience, and instead of an experience that's misaligned and frustrating and disappointing. Habit number 2 is to make sure that you are reframing any of your negative self-talk. Be aware of the stories you're telling yourself, of the ideas, the images that you're perpetuating about yourself, whether it's performance, negative body image issues. Be aware of it first, and then do something to switch it around. Be positive about your body. Really put more attention on the things that you like and enjoy about your body, and then start to work towards the things that you do want to change to improve your confidence. Because as soon as you start working towards change for something that matters to you, your confidence improves right away. It doesn't have to be the goal accomplished. It's the fact that you are moving in the right direction that gives you confidence and makes you more attractive. Remember, we always love to see people work towards their goals, and we always love to see effort. Whenever you see, like, you know, that brawny man fantasy that all these women have, or that lumberjack, fireman, the reason we like men in uniforms is because it gives us idea that he's doing something and that he's good at it. That's why we like doing it. You know, it gives purpose and direction, which is a masculine energy, and it's attractive to women. And for women, it's attractive when a man sees you working towards something. It shows that you're grounded. It shows that you like being yourself. There's something about you that's alluring to you that makes you happy to be in your own body. The way you carry yourself says, I'm confident, I like being here. You probably would like being here too. And that's what's attractive, not necessarily how you look. Because we've seen people who are not classically attractive physically, but they are attractive in their personality. We like the way they talk. We like the way they carry themselves. We like how secure they are in themselves. And in order to build security in yourself, you have to work with yourself and build that strong foundation. And in a way, you have to prove to yourself the insecurities that you have are not true. And then the last part is to improve your sexual communication. So that's through verbal, being able to easily adjust with, hey, I don't like this, hey, I like that. Being able to talk about what you like and don't like. Being playful and trying things that you've never tried before in order to really just bring playfulness to it. It doesn't have to be serious. Intimacy, lack of performance, all those things are so much less serious when you make it playful and you're able to even call out, you know, each other's kind of things you're not good at, you know. And so, okay, I'm not good at giving head. Let me learn. Let me watch a video, and then let me try some things on you, and then you give me some feedback and let me know. And those are goals that you can work on together. And then nonverbal cues are about being present with your body and the other person's body. So you can kind of see, like, are they relaxed in this? Are they tense and kind of like stiff? Definitely a sign of disconnection and something right. So you want to ask. You want to say, hey, what's going on? Or hey, do you like that? Or you want to try a different position? Being able to verbally express what you're thinking in your head is how you improve your confidence. Because once it's expressed and it's accepted, it opens that line of communication. All right, so let me know in the comments which one of these takeaways you are going to try first. And if there's any bit of information that you want to add to or share in your experience in the comments, do that too, because we're a community here and I want to know what's going on with you as well. All right, see you in the next video. Lead with love.
Like, subscribe, share the growth.
If you are not ready for the day, it cannot always be